three different fields of view, front and rear coverage in one quite capable dash camera. Vantrue's Nexus N4 Pro looks great at the first sight, but is it? Let's inspect. Right, welcome. Great to meet you. I'm the Tech Mishka. On the channel we expect a lot of cool and interesting tech, and today's focus is going to be on dash cameras and this Nexus N4 Pro model by Vantrue. In particular, we're going to thoroughly analyze and discover all the strong and the weak sides, and it's one of these dash cameras that got released in the second half of 2023, but it's gaining a lot of popularity and attention now in 2024, and based on the performance and the specs, I believe it's going to stay relevant for the next few years to come. And besides the spectacular image quality, especially out of this front camera unit, I have been able to discover certain hiccups and also made a very rookie kind of mistake, which I'll make sure to share with you in order to help you to avoid it in case you kind of are about to fall into this trap. So sit back, relax, watching the highest possible video resolution because a lot of 4K video footage to come, and I hope you're going to enjoy this review. Price-wise, Vantrue are rather well positioned among the high-end car DVRs, equipped with the famous and up-to-date Sony Starvis 2 image sensor, and it even matches the price of some of the domestic competitors, such as Viofo. The price is more attractive than most US and Korean-made dashcams, so I'm already raising the expectations levels quite high. The unboxing experience sort of confirms this. Vantrue have always been excellent about packing their products, and the overall feeling and presentation is superior to any other dashcam brand, at least in my opinion. Let's take a look at the inside. Here's the main unit. Weighs a lot. Inside this body, Vantrue have placed two cameras for the car interior and the main one. There's the computing hardware, the supercapacitor, basically most of the setup. As part of the accessories, there's the rear camera, which gets connected via a USB Type-C port. There's a charger with an extra USB port so that you can power feed the camera, but also it can let you charge your smartphone when necessary, for instance. There's the dashcam holder, which doesn't seem to have any option to tighten the mechanism. Oh, and the secret side plate, it's magnetic base, and underneath you can access the microSD card slot. First of all, the build quality is superb. The main unit is somewhat bigger than similar setups by other brands and weighs significantly more. The last two facts are not necessarily a good thing for a dashcam because we want them to be as compact as possible and not too heavy. If you care about the specs, there's a very decent Sony Starvis image sensor on the front, a well-capable new generation of a Novatec system on a chip, enhanced night vision support, inbuilt supercapacitor, customizable motion detection areas, support for microSD cards of up to 512 gigs, inbuilt GPS, and of course, a smartphone app for the configuration and downloading all the recordings. The specs are really solid. I mean, you can discover really a lot of strong sides, and of course the focus here is on the front unit because it's backed by the Sony Starvis Generation 2 image sensor, which is probably right now the best that you can get out of a dash camera in 2024. So we expect nothing but really superb low-light performance. Also inside we have a very decent processing unit which guarantees 4K plus 1080p plus 1080p, so that's a 3-channel dash camera after all. It's made by Novatec, who have a proven record for supplying really good and quality parts for a lot of dash cameras, also for some action cameras in the past. Now, in terms of design, I would say it's really good. You can adjust the angle of the interior camera, unfortunately just tilting, you can't go sideways. There's a quick release mounting mechanism, and I think the design of this one, probably just the front area, is kind of surprisingly big. You even have a display on the back side, which probably is kind of Vantrue's excuse about the overall unusually big size of the dash camera body. Additionally, while I was researching online, I stumbled across certain people complaining about a focus issue with the rear camera module. That was the first thing I actually checked on my unit, and it was perfectly fine. It's just 1080p though, because, well, smaller camera, smaller unit, and you only get 4K out of the front module. And there we go. We started really great by discovering some fantastic features, and now we tend to see certain facts that kind of make us worried. And of course, let's analyze a lot of footage, but before that, let me show you the rookie mistake and the installation process. Mounting the front unit is quite easy. Get the windshield sticker, it helps a lot when you decide to remove the camera. Think about the installation spot, it's really important from the interior camera standpoint, whether you want to record the passenger or the driver. The field of view might be enough for both, in some cases though. Also, make sure the front camera is within the reach of the wipers. Then, work on the cabling. To get advantage of the parking surveillance mode, you need a hardwire kit, which I didn't get in my case. So we rely on reactive recordings only. The rear unit gets connected via this long and unfortunately way too thick cable. In my rookie mistake, I didn't calculate the area reached by the wipers, which in dry weather is fine, but if it rains, yeah, doesn't look too good. The first time setup is straightforward. I'd recommend starting with the defaults, and once you get some more experience, you can try some of the other options. But it is a fact, the lack of an angle adjustment for the front and interior camera modules is a little restrictive. Now, let's see some more footage. Daytime balance is fantastic, on par with the high expectations from the image sensor. Detailed, maybe a bit too sharp for my taste, but this is usual for dashcams. The rear module footage looks good to me. I feel that the focus is fine, but again, there apparently is a batch of modules with problematic lenses, and this is obviously a hardware thing. The cabin module, which films the interior of the car, is equipped with infrared LEDs. They would light up should it get dark in the cabin, mostly at night, but I've heard them going on in some dark tunnels as well. Speaking about darkness, the less light we get, the more interesting the footage analysis becomes. This is indeed among the big strengths of the Starvis 2 image sensors, extracting a whole lot of light out of almost impossible situations. It's true, having 1.8 aperture is matching Viofo's current top-end model, and this is the reason why you will hardly find another dashcam producing better low-light footage in 4K than these two. So, if nighttime videos in 4K are your priority, Nexus 4 Pro sounds like a great match, at least for the front unit, because the rear one is not that good about it. I still keep the latest high-end setup from Blackview, which is based on a very different platform. As you're gonna notice, results are well in favor of the footage on the left, better clarity, a lot more details, and better dynamic range, as well as colors. I'd love to see Blackview releasing something with this very same image sensor too. Concerning the software side, this is where Vantrue seem to have advanced the most in the past couple of years. From a dashcam brand reluctant to offer wireless functions, it is now well equipping their latest high-end models with dual-band Wi-Fi for quick file transfer to your smartphone via the dedicated smartphone app. It has quite a pleasant interface, and the entire user interface is clean and helpful. I've had zero glitches, plus you can quickly enable or disable the Wi-Fi function via a long press of a button. Besides the marks on the video files themselves, Vantrue captures GPS logs, which can be visualized via the PC review software in case you want to access a bit more precise information. Looking at the details, we're going to notice high bitrate, and this is the main reason why the files are that large. A modest tip from my side: if you intend to use recordings from the 3 modules simultaneously, make sure to get a micro SD card as big as possible, because a minute's worth of recordings occupies a fair amount of megabytes, which kind of naturally leads me to the list with the drawbacks, because yeah, there eventually are such. There is no cloud or LTE-enabled version of the dashcam, the mentioned concerns about the focus of the rear module, plus the thickness of the cables, and of course, the size and the weight of the main module, because it is big. In the end, I want to make it very clear that the N4 Pro by Vantrue is a very good, very reliable and safe-to-use dash camera. It's probably not a great one, because although the image quality is superb and spectacular, especially about low-light performance, maybe some of the construction drawbacks are kind of making me reluctant to say it is the best that you can buy at a given moment. But given the alternatives, it's one of the very few which can provide that good combination of parts. And yes, it is expensive because it's one of the premium models by Vantrue, but at the same time, if you decide to buy these 3 units separately from other brands, you're probably still going to be paying pretty much the same kind of price. And when we talk about superiority, when we talk about good presentation and overall fantastic build quality, I think Vantrue are really at a very high level. So that's my take on the N4 Pro. Should you have any questions or comments, or you want to share about your experience with it, be invited. The comment section is down below the video. If you want to buy this particular dash cam, well, as usual, I would remind you to ask yourself the question, do you really need this piece of tech? And if the answer is yes, check the video description for a link in order to buy this and support my channel at the same time without any additional cost to you. So that's been everything about today's review. Thank you very much for watching it. Drive safely and responsibly, and I guess I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!